All right, hello everybody. Today we are going to do a 9-exercise Winter Olympic themed routine today. 9 exercises, 3 rounds. If you have time for 1 round, do it. If you have time for 2, do it. If you have time for all 3, do it. If you have time for 6, do it all over again. Whatever you have time for, make time for the exercise portion of it and make time for you. This is self-care. I like to promote self-care all the time. Exercise, sleep, nutrition, meditation, breath work, all self-care in my opinion. All right, we're going to start off with a little warm-up, go into the routine, and then we'll cool it down at the end. All right, so let's just go ahead and turn side to side, get that spine loosened up. Lots of gulls here today, so you might hear those while we're going through. Mockingbird just came for morning breakfast. All right, let's put our fists in front. Let's go ahead and punch across our body, extending our backs, extending those ankles on the back side. Keep it nice and smooth. We're just warming up our joints. All right, let's put our hands together. Let's reach up, chop down towards our knee. Reach it up and chop. All these Winter Olympic exercises, you'll have to kind of be a little creative in your imagery on some of these things. All right, switch. Don't forget to breathe. All right, a few more of these. Got a bee buzzing around me here. All right, so a couple things that you'll need. You may need somewhere to go onto the ground. If you don't have a safe place, put a mat down on the ground. You can grab some water as well. Good attitude's always good to have. All right, our first exercise today is, we can make this an Olympic event maybe, but we're going to do a standing snow angel. You might know this by another term, but we're going to start out with this. I'm going to keep it very low level. If you want to have the option of increase the level of difficulty or doing it my way, either way is fine. All right, don't forget to start your watch if you're recording at home. Make sure I do that. All right, ready and go. So standing snow angel, we're going to walk it out to begin with. If you want to put a little more effort into that and do a jumping snow angel, you can do that as well. So jumping snow angel would look like kind of like that. So that would be super intense. Really extend the arms as much as you can. Get a shoulder workout, step it out. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. Okay, our next exercise is Mogul inspired. So for downhill moguls, we're going to keep our feet straight and we are going to twist side to side with a little jump. If you can't jump, just put your feet a little further apart and do kind of like a twisted squat. All right, ready? And go. Keep those knees nice and bouncy. You can get a little creative if you want to. Don't forget to breathe. 15 seconds. Let's activate your bone mineral density, that growth in your bones when you do this jumping action. And rest. Whew. All right, this is another one that's winter inspired instead of Olympic inspired. So we're going to do a snowball throw each way. So I want you to pack up the snowball, throw it this way, full body, throw it that way. You can do a little bit of weights too if you want. If you have a ball that you can use, go ahead and do that. Ready? And go. Really get full extension on your back. You can throw some forward if you want. That's a good one. Get that forward lunge going on when you throw. All right, 10 seconds. Whew, this is more intense than I thought it was going to be. Whew. And rest. All right, so our next one is ski jump inspired. So we're going to start here. Okay, start with our hands in front. We're going to bend our knees and arms out the back. Okay, from here, arms out the back. Very similar to a deadlift, except we're adding our arms into it. Imagine gliding in the air over the ski jump snow. Really feel that muscular tension in your hamstrings when you do that. You can also tighten up those triceps when you kick it back. You know how those skiers, they put their hands up right before they jump and then they go for it. Told you need to think a little creatively on this one today. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right, for this next one, we're going to do, basically they're going to be get-ups, except we're going to go down just like we're going to fire a gun for the biathlon. Okay, so we're going to go all the way down to the ground, get into position, and then all the way back up. All right, ready? And go. If you can't get all the way down to the ground, just go ahead and sit in the chair and get back up. So just go up and down from that position. Otherwise, we're going all the way down to prone position. Bring it all the way back up so we can ski again. If you want to throw in a few skis when you get to the top, that'd be fabulous. In fact, I'm going to change that exercise to add those in. That's fun. All right, keep it going. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. Whew. That was pretty intense. All right, we're going on to the ground. You can also do this from a sitting position. All right, so this is bobsled inspired. I'm gonna go down, reach the brakes, pull them back. Whew. Reach down, pull the brakes in that bobsled. Take a little pause on the back. You're that first person in that bobsled, 2-man or 4-man. Gotta grab the brakes, steer it a little bit. When you steer it a little bit, that engages your core a little bit more. Let's have a little fun with this today. If you have to do the option where you're in the chair, you can do the same thing. In the chair, reach it out, grab the brakes, bring it back, steer it a little bit. All right, we got 15 seconds. All right, awesome. Hopefully that was fun for you. All right, our next one is speed skating. So you can do this jumping, or you can just do this in a standing position. If you have a little trouble with your balance, go ahead and grab something in front of you. So we're gonna step, reach all the way behind, push off on the ice, bring it back, push off on the ice. Okay, so go ahead and get started. It's kind of like level 1. Or level 1, we just gotta touch it back here. Level 2, let's really get into that push off for that speed skater. If you want another option, go ahead, put a hop into it. So get that heart rate elevated and get the arms involved too. You got this. Keep it up. 15 seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, next we're gonna go to the luge. So we're gonna go down and we're gonna do luge holds. So we're gonna get into that position, make sure we're looking over our toes, hold that position. All right, you can do this off of a chair as well. If you need a little break, go ahead and lay it back and then bring it back up to that shoulder elevated, heel elevated position. If you're having a little trouble with that, there's an additional modification that you can do. You can rest on your elbows and bring those legs up. So we're really working our core and our legs on this one. If you want to go ahead and steer the luge with your feet, you can do that. Just turn them side to side. This is a tough one. Take a little break when you need it, and then get back into position. We got 15 more seconds. Whew. And rest. Whew. I think that might be the hardest one yet. All right, so we're back up to a stand. Our last exercise is cross country. You know how they go down the slopes a little bit? So we're going to grab those poles and we're going to bring them all the way back. Bring them all the way back. And go. Dig those poles in. Push off on those skis. It's a good full body exercise. Get your legs involved, get those shoulders involved. Just nice snappy motions. The heart rate up a little bit. 15 seconds. And rest. Whew. Good job, everybody. We got one round in. Work on getting that air way deep into your lungs. Grab a drink if you need it. It's a little more vigorous than our usual routines. A lot more cardio needed in the Olympics and doing fun winter themed things. All right. You're ready for round number 2. These exercises really work your whole body. Okay, so we're going to do standing snow angels again. Whoop. There's a bunch of bees here. Okay. Ready? And standing snow angels. And again, you can go ahead and jump on each one of these. Most of you know what the normal name for this exercise is, but we're going to call them snow angels today. Lots of my friends in the north have a lot of snow, so that'll be perfect. Or people are watching the Winter Olympics. I'm sure some people that win medals do some snow angels when they're done. All right, 5 seconds. Woo! And rest. Those are even tough if you don't jump. All right, so we're doing moguls next. So this is when we're twisting and jumping. If you need a modification and you just don't got the jumping in you today, just go ahead and raise the roof so we're kind of cheering everybody on as they do it. All right, ready? And go. Don't forget, jumping is good for bone mineral density, lower body. So anytime you can get a little bit of jumping in is good. As you notice, I'm not really getting that far off the ground. Remember, in moguls, they're not really getting off the ground either. They're just making sure their knees are super bendy. So if you want that option, you can do that too. But it really works those muscles that help do the rotations in your body. All right. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right, we're gonna do our snowball throw, but I actually like the forward snowball throw better. So let's go ahead and do that. So after you grab your snowball, you're gonna throw it and do that forward lunge. Modification is keep that step a little bit closer to your body. Ready? And go. These left-handed throws are a little more difficult. Have some fun with this. Throw them at different angles. All right, we got 10 seconds. All right, excellent job. That was fun. That was super fun. All right, we're gonna go from here to ski jump position. So from here, bring it back. Here, bring it back. Ready and go. Feel that work in your hamstrings. You should really feel and engage when you're in this position. Again, bend over as far as you can. It's not necessary to go all the way as far as I do if your flexibility isn't quite there yet. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, take a couple deep breaths. All right, we are doing our biathlon again. So we're down onto the ground, come up, do some cross-country C motion, back down. Ready? And go. Take it down, prone position, hit the targets, bring it back up. If you need the option of doing that just contralateral motion in that cross-country ski position if you're unable to get on the ground. So if you're able to get on the ground, let's do it. If you're not, keep it that skiing position. All right, 15 seconds. All right, we are back to the ground or in a chair. We're going to do some bobsled, braking and steering. So reach it forward, grab those brakes. This one really works on your core control. So when you're doing that, kind of concentrate on that little bit of twisting motion. Will give you the little bit of extra on that core as you reach and pull on the brakes. The further you lean back, the more that core is going to get engaged and the more you're going to get out of this exercise. You should also feel when you're back here that your legs are engaged as well. So it's really working a lot of your body for this one. All right, 10 seconds. All right, we are back up for speed skaters. Woo! All right, from this position, don't forget we're stepping behind. All right, even if you can only do a little bit behind, that's a good option for somebody that's definitely not as sure of their footing and stuff. Ready? And go. And again, you can just do a warm-up lap on the speed skating circle, or you can really go for the gold on this one. Really push off. All right, we got 15 seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, we're down on the ground for what I think is the hardest exercise today, and that is our luge holds. So we're in this position, raising our back and our legs at the same time. Hold it as long as we can, drop it back. If you're using the option of being in a chair, lift those legs off the ground and hold them up as long as you can. Drop them down. So when you're lifting both, you might be able to stay up for 5, 10, 20 seconds. Take a little break and bring it back up. Really tighten the core, tighten those legs. All right, 10 seconds. Let's see if I can hold it the rest of the way. You can do it. And rest. Whew. That one is really tough. Whew. It's amazing how sometimes the hardest exercises are the ones you actually don't move on. All right, so our last one is our cross-country downhill. So when they go down those gentle slopes, they bring those poles up and push off. It's the whole body to push it off. All right, let's do it. Last exercise in round number 2. 10 seconds. And rest. All right, good job, everybody. It's time to take a breather. If you only got time for 2 rounds, that's fine. We can end it here. If you got time for one last round, we'll do that together today. Grab yourself a drink. Get that breath all the way down into your lungs. Hydrate a little bit. It's good to take a little hydration break. And you know yourself best. You need extra hydration breaks in between, go for it. It's definitely something you need to be aware of with your body. Everybody's different. Just get that hydration when you need it. All right, so here we go. Last round. We got our standing snow angels and go. You got this. Keep it up. Again, you have an option of smaller steps. You have the option of really going for the gold on this one. They should make a standing snow angel an Olympic sport. I think that would be cool. You could rate them on numbers, and you can rate them on form. And rest. Whew. All right, so we got our mogul jumps next. So remember, moguls aren't necessarily jumping. They're just keeping our knees nice and bendy so they can go over those bumps. All right, we're going to jump a little bit just to increase that bone mineral density. Ready, and go. If you need a little break, take it. We got 15 seconds. That's our last set of mogul jumps. And rest. Whew. All right, so our next exercise is our forward snowball throw. Stepping forward, throwing the snowball, works our coordination and our lower body. Ready? And go. Woo. All right, 15 seconds. You can make it. And rest. Whew. All right, for our next one, we're going into that ski jump position. I know it's sort of similar to our last one, but I want you to hold it into that ski jump position to really concentrate on the isometric exercise on your hamstrings. Ready? And go. So really stay in this position for a few seconds. Bring it up. All right, 15 seconds. All right. Whew. Getting sweaty from this one. All right, so next we are doing our biathlon. Down to the ground, prone, hitting the target, coming up, and doing some cross-country skis. Ready? And go. Bring it down. Hit the target. Bring it back up. You can do as many skis up the top as you can. If you're unable to get onto the ground, go ahead and just do this forward and backward skip. All right, 15 seconds. All right, good job. All right, we are back into the bobsled. Get into position on that bob. Reach for those steering cables and steer, go. Lean back as far as you can. Do a little shimmy. Bring it back, 15 seconds. All right, awesome. Back to our feet. Back to the speed skating dome. All right, nice big strides on this speed skating. If you're able to, you should be able to get a little bit further each time. Ready and go. And again, you can walk it out. You can jump it out. Whatever you feel like your fitness level is today, go ahead and push it. Get exactly what you need to get out of this for your day. Some people need this for mobility, so you keep it at a lower level. Some people want to do a little HIIT training, so we can amp it up a little bit. And I'm okay with doing the HIIT training. This is your only one for the week. We can talk more about that later if you're interested. All right, 10 seconds. and rest. All right, we're on the ground for the hardest one, in my opinion, our luge holds. And again, if you want to put your elbows back and do those, you can. If you want to go in true luge fashion, go ahead and lay all the way back. Ready? And go. Take a break whenever you need it. Seems like 10 seconds is a good amount of time to hold this position. Gulls are really having at it today. All right. And rest. Whew. That there is a tough one. All right, so our last exercise for today is our short little downhill for our cross-country skiing. Bringing those poles up and whipping them back. Ready? And go. This is good practice for if you go to the gym and they have a ski machine. Do this exact same motion with the pulley system there. Seen a lot of people have really bad form in the gym with that, but if you use your whole body to pendulum yourself down on that machine at the gym, that'll really help you get enough force and not just use your shoulders and your arms for that one. And rest. Whew, all right. We did it. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's do a little cool down. We did a lot of arm things today, so let's go ahead and roll your shoulders out, nice big circles. Inhale on the up, exhale on the down. All right, let's interlock our fingers and stretch it straight up. Get a little wider base with your legs. You can do this from a sitting position too. Let's go ahead and lean over to one side. Really stretch through your whole body, stretch through the hip, sides, arm. All right, bring it back up. Let's go down the other side. All right, let's put our hands on our hips. And I want you just to very slowly do a hula hoop move all the way around. Really stretch those legs as you rotate. Push out the hips in the front. Push out the hip when you go left and right. Switch directions. Let's go into a half kneeling position. Stretch out that leg and go ahead and just gently lean into that leg. Pull your toe towards your body. Really stretch the back of your leg. We did a lot of work with your hamstrings today. Remember, with all these stretches, you want to get to where you can feel the tension, but not that it hurts. All right, let's switch legs. Whoop. All right, thank you so much for coming. Make sure you hit the button down at the bottom so you can get the content as soon as it is uploaded onto the system. And I will talk to you soon. It's Coach Steve signing off. Thanks for coming. Make sure you express gratitude for yourself for getting here. All right.